you ever had it? My husband did last year. It started like the end of November in 2019, and we really didn't know what it was at first. So we tried different things to try and heal the skin because it was itching and he was scratching it a lot and it was oozing. We just weren't sure what it was. So we started off with some essential oils, and then I did some research and we thought, well, maybe it's a fungus infection, so we used some over-the-counter antifungal medication. And then last but not least, we finally figured out it was poison ivy. So my husband started using over-the-counter poison ivy medication. None of it really helped. I mean, even with the poison ivy medication, his skin was breaking, it was chafing, it was oozing this pus, and it was all over his neck and chin and around his mouth and up to his temples. And he was even starting on the back of his neck. It just kept spreading and it was not pretty. But he stayed persistent and used the poison ivy wash, and then he was starting to feel some relief. So then we just went back to using some cocoa butter to help heal the skin, and that's what finally helped it to completely heal, was with the cocoa butter to ease the rest of that tension and soreness from new skin coming through and all that dry, dead skin that was coming off. Anyway, let's go through this. I used many different carrier oils trying to come up with a solution, and these are some of the essential oils I used. I used turmeric, lavender, clove bud. Yes, I use a lot of frankincense. This is my giant 16-ounce container of frankincense oil, which are all known to help the skin in different ways. And clove bud is actually one that helps to, it's like a anesthetic, and it will help to stop some itching and pain. It's very cool. I like clove bud. Yeah, these didn't work. We thought it was antifungal. So we got Athlete's Spray and Athlete's Whipped Cream, and because it's antifungal, we put that on my husband's neck and face. Did not really work. It helped stop some of the itching, but it did not get rid of it. When we figured out it was poison ivy, we bought the over-the-counter stuff, the poison ivy wash and the poison ivy itch cream to put on after you wash. It took a long time to get rid of the poison ivy. Guess what? This year, the end of September, beginning of October 2020, my husband started to get itching again on his neck and chin. Oh no. He talked to the coaches that work with him, and he was telling them about it, how he's got poison ivy again, and that's why he had this stuff on his face. And the one coach said, you know what, you don't have to do that. She said, I had poison ivy, and this over-the-counter stuff doesn't work. You know what works better than all these things? Dawn dish soap. I said, really? She said, yes. So my husband decided to try it. Now, yes, this one is 4 times more concentrated. You don't have to buy that one, okay? My husband had to dilute this one, but he did try it just straight on his skin, and it stopped a lot of the itching. And he just put it on, let it dry, and then washed it off. The next day, because he did that at night, the next morning he diluted it a little bit with water and washed his face really well with it, and then rinsed it off and put just plain cocoa butter on his skin for moisturizing it. Within just a couple days, the poison ivy was gone. I mean, this stuff is amazing when it comes to poison ivy. Who would have known? But because if you look here, grease cleaning power, poison ivy is a really thick sap, and if that oily sap spreads on your skin, it's going to affect everywhere that it touches. So it only makes sense to me that it would get rid of it, because when I get a lot of grease on my hands, first thing I do is put the dish soap directly onto the grease and start rubbing it in, and then I just have to rinse and it's all off my hands. Isn't that genius? I am so happy we found a solution, and that my husband's skin healed so easily. And there was no breaking open of the skin this time, no oozing of pus, none of the nonsense that was there before. And it didn't spread, which was even better. Lesson learned. Poison ivy, use Dawn dish soap.